Everyone, Ronnie Rowe here again this week for another rendition of my cross stitch channel. Hey, I hope every one of you had a great Christmas holiday and a wonderful new year. I certainly did. The last time we talked, the temperature outside, I think I told you, was going to be 1. Well, it's up to 70. So we're happy in Hampton, Virginia right now as far as the temperature goes. Hope all of you got what you wanted for Christmas, and certainly hope each and every one of you stayed safe. If you made any New Year's resolutions, I hope you can keep those resolutions. I didn't make any. I never make New Year's resolutions because I've never been able to keep them. One of my resolutions last year, as you recall, to clean my office up, which I did. You can see behind me, brand new set. So this is looking really well. Um, I told you last time that we're going back and look at what we did last year and take a look back at what happened last year. And I said, we'd probably do that. Well, we're probably not. So I'm not going to do that. The only thing happened to me last year that was any meant really anything was I did have a total hip replacement last year in June, which went very, very well. Did go to Nashville last year, met a lot of people, and so had a decent year. Had a decent year last year, and with a lot of things, and also with what I do in cross stitch. Had a very good year last year. I got to talk to a lot of people, and last year I did. It was the first time I ever did one of these videos, and so that was kind of neat. Um, what we're going to do tonight, let's see, resolutions, have been through that. We'll talk to you tonight about some miniatures I've done. We're going to talk about Morning Light, where I am with that project. We're also going to talk about Blue Haven. That's a new design I'm doing. SD site and what you're looking for on that. And I'll tell you about my conversations with Stitching with Julie. I've been talking to Julie a lot this past week. And so we come up with some ideas I think you're going to like. So anyway, to get started, what I'd like to talk about tonight is some miniatures. I don't know, years ago, when I was doing the Williamsburg series, and that's all the buildings you've seen, the Governor's Palace, the Capitol, Courthouse, the Wren Building, all of those designs. And when I first started out, I did fairly large designs. All of my designs were very large. I mean, it took some time to do. And the reason they were like that was because I wanted to capture as much detail in a design that I could and still make it something that someone would be willing to stitch, and not too big, but not too small where I would lose the detail. Um, but that's what I started out with, and I still do today. Someone asked me about size. How do you come up with size? Well, obviously, the more stitches you have on the design, size is mattered by how many stitches you have, not the stitch count of the material. Stitch count of the material has nothing to do with the actual number of stitches, if you will, and the detail in the design itself. Obviously, if you've got across the top, if you've got a design, it's got 280 stitches by 180, which a lot of my designs are that size. You're going to get a lot more detail than if I made them 25 stitches across the top and 12 stitches down the bottom. You lose a lot of detail. So I did put a lot of detail in all of my designs. That got me to thinking, well, first of all, back in the day when I was doing the Williamsburg designs, several shops were asking me to do smaller designs because people coming to Williamsburg at the time, and a lot of the shops, people in there, they wanted something quick and easy to do at Williamsburg. They didn't want to spend an enormous amount of time doing one of these designs. So what I did, I came up with a miniature series. I took my original designs, cut them all down, made them a lot smaller. And what I came up with at the time was these little miniatures you can see. These were, I got one of the governor's palace, the back of the governor's palace, which I call Colonial Gardens. These were the same as what I did the larger designs, but each one of these were a little bit smaller. And what you got in these package was a piece of paper like so. This is the one of the Bruton Parish Church. This was folded up and stuck into a little package in here. That's what went inside. And that's what you got your pattern. And outside cover being the color showing you what it was. On the back of that, I had all of the design, all of the colors, the DMC. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably can't. Yeah, there you go. The DMC colors on the back. And each one of these designs, the smaller ones, measured somewhere around 60 to 60 by 80 around that stitches. And they were a lot smaller, a lot quicker to do. And what they turned out like, I'll show you two of them. One is the Wren building. This is framed up. This is stitched up. This is a small design. This doesn't take long to do. And I bought these little frames. I guess I got them from Walmart or one of those type stores. Put a piece of glass in them, framed them. This kind of design you got, and they were small. They were easy to do, and you know, the typical thing on the back of them, which you see. And but anyway, matted those, and that's the way each one of these miniature turned out. Now, I'm showing you those for two reasons. The first reason is all of these are out on my Etsy site. If you'd like to take a look at those, I think I have all 5 or 6 of them, like at $15. I'm not sure what it is. I have to go back and take a look. But anyway, the reason I'm going over this is this past week, my dear friend Julie, Stitching with Jules, we had a conversation about marketing and how to go about getting products out that people would like. And I told her about these miniature designs and took a look at what Julie has put out right now and suggested that maybe she put out smaller designs for people, because there's a lot of people don't want to spend a lot of time on these enormous designs. And I say enormous, but my larger designs. And so they like something quick. And so we're in the process right now, at least she's in the process right now, of cutting some of these down to make them a little bit quicker to do, if you will. And so that's the reason I want to show you these particular smaller designs this evening. Next project I'm going to be doing is the one I showed you a sketch out. This is Morning Light. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to have the rocks here. I haven't colored this thing yet. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do exactly, but that's basically what it's going to look at coming out of Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer. So anyway, we're going to have a little pier coming across here, going out to the little house and stuff. I think it's going to be okay. So that's probably the next piece I'm going to be doing. And so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how long it's going to take. It probably take me months and months. So anyway, that's going to be my next project and what I'm going to shoot for. What I'm currently doing right now is we've been talking for a long time now about Morning Light. I was going to get this thing finished by this video. It didn't happen, but I'm coming close. I'm coming close, and I will almost promise you next week you will see a framed with mat board and everything of Morning Light. But I am going to show you where I am right now on Morning Light. As you can see, I've gotten a lot of work done on this thing. This is still loose fat. This hasn't been washed, ironed, all that kind of stuff. But this is Morning Light, and the only thing I have to do right now is right down in here. I've got about 50 stitches to go on this, and this is done. I am really, really happy the way this thing came together as far as the colors, and especially the light coming down here. I was happy about that. I was kind of worried about that wouldn't show up good or what we're going to do with that, but it did work out. And I also tried, I don't know how good I did at it, but I tried behind the tree to look like there was a pathway going down into the back. And so I guess you can see that to a certain degree, the perspective of it, and it doesn't just look flat. So anyway, this is morning light. Another thing I like to point out to you on my designs, and this isn't just for morning light. This is for lots and lots of my work. Um, I don't put any white in it. The white I use is the fabric. And so in the building right here, where you see all the blank spaces here, white, and also up here in morning light, the light coming down and all through the tree here, that is the fabric itself. So what I'm getting at is if you do one of my pieces and you decide to use a, I don't know, use a material that's not white, if you're using something else, keep that in mind that you might want to use a white DMC, a white thread in these areas, so that if you did this on a darker color or something, it wouldn't show through. You got to remember you're looking at your fabric in some of these designs. So I wanted to keep that in mind. We went morning light, Blue Haven. I'm gonna work on next. SD site. Talk to Julie. What I like to know is, what would you like to see this year? What do you think's a good idea? Now I know I'm gonna do the Blue Haven because I told you about when I did Snowbound. That was the one we had the boats and then the snow in the background. And I like those water scenes. It seems like I'm gravitating more to that right now. So I'm looking forward to Blue Haven, and I think that's what I'm going to call it. I might change. I don't know, but that's the best I can come up with right now. The way I think I want to make this thing look. So, but anyway, that's going to be starting here. Morning light. I did look downstairs, and every time I stitch a design on my color sheet, on my DMC, my piece of paper that I have with all of my colors on it, I put a note on there when I started this. So when I started actually sitting down stitching a design, I started stitching this on October 18th of 2022. So October 18th was when I made my first stitch up here, working from left to right, the upper left-hand corner was October 18th, and here we are at January the 4th. So that'll give you some indication about, I don't know how fast you stitch. I took a lot of breaks, but that's how long this thing took me to stitch, and I'll finish this up for these few little stitches tomorrow. So I'm sure that'll work out fine. But that's how long it takes me to do one of these things, and I'm sure when I start on Blue Haven, which will probably be, I'm guessing sometime next week, till I get everything together and get this one finished and get my material cut. But I'll let you know the date I start stitching that. And I'm sure that's going to be a 280 by 180 stitch. I've already got that figured out. So it's going to take me about the same length of time, 2.5, 3 months, to stitch this thing and put it all together. But I'm going to show you the progress of that as we go forward. Don't know much more other than I'm glad it's 2023. I'm looking forward to this year. I've got a lot of things that I want to do. I'm not going to Nashville this year. There is a show that was I heard about, an Atlanta show out the latter part of March of this year, and it's a needlepoint show. I think it's a lot of needlepoint in it. So I talked to Julie about that, and we she's not going to that. So I have no plans right now. So, but anyway, that may be something in the future. I don't know about virtual shows this year, how many of those are going to be made available to us to go to. But anyway, I'll keep you informed on that. Not much more this week. Next week, I'm certainly going to show you the finished morning light project, and then this will probably go out on the SD site for you to take a look at. at that time. So I'm not sure. Not sure what I'm gonna do about Nashville show. Distributor wise, I'm gonna send some designs, I think, to Rob at Hoffman Distributing, let him carry, because they are going to the show this year, and let him put some designs, some new things up from me, since I won't be there. So, but anyway, we'll see all how that goes. And again, hey, hit the little subscribe button. I need you to hit this subscribe button to me. That will help me a whole lot. And give me some comments. Any comments you might have about how well I did in cleaning up this area right here on my file cabinet, and you know, putting away stuff and all my other stuff I have laying around here. I don't know if you can see all this. Let me go ahead. This is some of Ronnie Rowe stuff. This is the way I keep some stuff and everything. It's Mount Rushmore. I mail a lot of this stuff out, so I keep them in these display things. They're not really displayed here. It's just easy for me to get to. That kind of stuff. What else has we got going in Ronnie Rowe's office? Bolts of material up there. Bolts of material. Over here is where I keep a lot of my patterns, my books and everything, and keep all that together. There's bolts of material behind me. Up in the air, you can see all my other junk I have across my beautiful laid out office. What else we got around here you might be interested in? Picture. Guy up here. The guy up here. Guy was born in 1883. That's my grandfather. That is my grandfather Rowe right there. My father's father. That's a picture of him when he was in the Merchant Marines here in the Chesapeake Bay. And so that's really like that a whole lot. So I thought a whole lot of him, knew him well. And but anyway, that's my office. That's what's going on. And as you can tell, it's all clean and nice now. So anyway, okay, I'm rambling. So anyway, until next week, keep stitching. Let me know how you're doing on morning light. So I'm really interested in that. So if you get any stitching done, send me what you did, and I'll put your name out there and tell you how well you're doing and everything. And if you do want a copy of it, let me know. Again, I'm still doing that. So until next week, as I tell you all, every time I see you or leave you and everything, please, the number one thing I want you to do, be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.